Alright, good morning and welcome back to day 2 of Let's Walk Japan. My name is Q and we've landed yesterday in Japan, which is November 6th, and today, November 7th, our plan is to reconnect with some friends I haven't seen in over 16 years. Too long for any friend to not see each other. So to start off, I wake up early around 8 a.m. to go downstairs for breakfast. And boy, am I surprised when I get to look at the food we're having this morning in Japan. As I make my way through the small area of food, I picked up a few items I see that are interesting. The first item being Mei Onigiri, which is a rice ball with salted plums at the top right of my plate, and possibly Sake Wake Onigiri, which is a rice ball with salmon seaweed. If I'm wrong, please correct me, y'all. Two things in the middle, which I think are Hamburger, which is Japanese hamburger steaks, or Salisbury steaks. On the far left, it seems that this is yakisoba, or fried noodles, but I've been told it's a bit unusual that it doesn't have any vegetables or meat in it, so it could just be spaghetti. Below that in white is the macaroni salada, which is of course macaroni salad. To the left of that, I wasn't quite sure. It seems like it could be kagage, which is a Japanese deep fried chicken, but the taste was just something different. I don't know. I can't explain it. To say the least, it was all so delicious, y'all. After eating, I headed back upstairs to get prepared to head out with the group to meet up with my friends in Akabane. Alright, and we are off. This recording that I do have here for you all is actually recorded later because the day that we did travel around, it was kind of a little cloudy, and at the same time I didn't have my video materials together, so I wanted to record it a little bit later on and walk you all through how to get to Akabane. So on this walk, we actually are walking from our hotel to the train station, and it's about maybe a 5 or 7 minute walk, not too far, but it was a gorgeous day. The day of this recording, and yeah, I just want you all to see how it looks from the hotel to the train station. Around the hotel, there are a couple different stores. You just saw that there was a Lawson's. That is another kind of mini mart that's there. Around the corner, or diagonally on the other side of the corner, is a 7-Eleven. I'll have another video for you all to see that, or maybe later on the day. You'll see exactly where the 7-Eleven is. That's the first one that we went to when we first arrived in Kawaguchi. It was kind of an interesting thing as well, is that when we were walking these streets, there never seemed to be any shops that were open. And it's kind of strange to me, but I think they were just open at different times that we weren't in our hotel or walking the streets around maybe like the evening. And I think I have heard as well that around 5 or so, that's when shops start opening up and whatnot. Also on the right hand side there, you also saw that they were having a I think a safety meeting for those who are a part of that. There actually is an event that was happening this day of the recording as well. This is Kawaguchi's, I guess they have a festival that's going on, and our attendant that was at the hotel was trying to invite me out to an event that was happening later that evening, and she said it was going to be fireworks and food trucks and all kinds of stuff, but for me, I was going to meet some friends, so I told her, hey, look, I'll try to be back if I can, but if not, well, I'll just miss the event. But I heard it was pretty good. Fireworks were going off while we were out, but I think that committee that was over there was about safety and how to, I guess, contain the crowd and keep things in order. So these stairs were intense. The first couple nights. If you do come to Japan and you are out of shape, these stairs will definitely get you in shape. If you choose that, I'm just gonna say it the same way I am. There are escalators all over Japan, but there are many stairs as well, and there are some stations that do not have escalators, I do believe. So you do have to walk stairs somewhere. So I do say, if you come into Japan, definitely keep yourself in good shape, because you're gonna be walking quite a bit. Also to the right, that you saw walking up the stairwell, there is actually a smoking section. Now that was one of the cool and interesting things that I saw here in Japan, is that they do really mind about how you smoke and where you smoke at, as a polite thing. And I was so appreciative of that because it's not always a good thing when you're walking down the street or you're in a certain area and you have someone smoking a cigarette. It is in your face. I mean, smoking cigarettes is not good for you first, but having someone else be susceptible to your smoke is also not a good thing either. Secondhand smoke does kill you too. But it was pretty good to see that they had a smoking section specifically for smokers, and they stayed away from main entrances and whatnot as well. So kudos, Japan. Also, to let you know about when you're traveling on the transit, that's another big reason why I say to get a Suica card, especially if you're a foreigner that's going to be staying for a short amount of time, maybe less than 30 days. It gets you in and out of the subway systems quick. You can get your Suica card at each station, so you don't have to worry about where to get it at and whatnot. When you first arrive in Japan, if you saw our first video, you can see at the airport where you can get your Suica card first, and then you can always reload it either at a 7-Eleven or you can reload it at the stations that you do go to. It's pretty simple and pretty easy to reload your card, so you don't have to worry about how you're gonna get back onto a train or missing a train because you don't have any more money. One little tip here as well is that when you're at each station, they do have sounds that they play for trains, such as when a train will arrive, when a train is ready to close their doors, when a train is ready to take off. They have little chimes that they play that are different that you kind of get used to over time when you start chiming in and start singing with the song. So it was quite interesting hearing it. And me and my brother and friends, we would kind of sing the tune and melody as it's playing. Now again, we're going to Akabane. So Akabane from Kawaguchi is only one stop. Being in some of these stations really gave you also a good sense about how Japanese people are, from seniors to middle-aged people to people in their 20s, 30s, working class, working people, to college students. I mean, there were so many different diverse people that were at each station, and you just got to see what Japanese people were, like and what they do, how they get on transits, all that great stuff. Now, this is our line that has just arrived. We missed the first one, but here's the line coming back in. There's kind of an etiquette as well as when you're on the trains. You also want to make sure you're not talking on the phone loudly, or that you're having huge conversations and whatnot, and just really being respectful to each other that are on the train. They also try to have you, if you have a big backpack or a big bag, that you kind of move it out of the way. That way you can respect the space of other people as well. Just courtesy. And we're off.
次は赤羽です。The next station is Akabane, JK38.
Like I said as well, if you have certain type of apps that are transit apps, they definitely will tell you where you can get onto the trains at, how to transfer to them, as well as the fares that go along with it. So like I said, there's Metro Man that is out there, there's Google Maps that tells you about the transits and which ones to connect to and whatnot, so that way you can make yourself around Tokyo. I would definitely say don't be afraid, jump on a transit and see where it takes you. I mean, there's a lot to see in the city and other parts of the country, and just ride the rails. You're gonna find a lot of great things around the cities.
The next station is Akabane, JK38. The doors on the right side will open. Please change your floor to Utsunomiya Line, the Ueno Tokyo Line, the Shonan Shinjuku Line, and the Saikyo Line.
And here we are at Akabane.
ご乗車ありがとうございます。
2番線ドアが閉まります。ご注意ください。
Now, when you do reach stations, some things that'll help you out as well. If you don't know where trains are located or their platforms, usually most of them are told by their number. Some of them are numbers and colors. So there's some times that we actually kind of get mixed up on the transit, and it's totally fine and okay as long as you're able to get yourself back on track. But there were some times we got mixed up because there were trains that were with the same number, but the colors were different, and it kind of threw us off of which ones to get onto. And some of them actually, if you are taking transits that are not within the same station, you do have to go outside of the station and that's why the colors are different, because they're not in the same location. So be aware of that, because of the fact that when you do change trains, that the trains with the same numbers don't mean that they're in the same place. They're outside of the station or at another train station. So just be aware when you're taking a transit, to pay attention and where you need to transfer your train at, so that way you're able to get to your next destination. And once again, I'm gonna whip out my Suica card. Oh, just walk through the gate. After arriving at Akabane, we warmly met my friends Yoko and her husband Steven with hugs and handshakes. Immediately afterwards, my friends made sure we had eaten something before the journey, so they took us to a place super close to the station called Mr. Donut. I'm told Mr. Donut is pretty popular in Japan, and the donuts are really delicious. I didn't try any because I just had breakfast, but maybe next time. Next after that, we're taken to the local Akabane Turtle Shrine, which is said to watch over the city. Upon arrival to the shrine, there were a group of kindergarten kids visiting, so we wanted to wait until they were through before we paid our respects to the shrine. Next, we visited Ito Yokado, which is a combination of department stores and a Japanese grocery store on the lower level. Now, while we were in the store, I came across a little something. Now, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about at this moment. For those of you who are not Metal Gear Solid fans, Calorie Mate is a food used in the famous Hideo Kojima's game Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater as a source of his nutrients while he's fighting bad guys and trying to save the world. When I finally had the chance to eat this though, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was some kind of cake or pie or something similar, but it turns out it was more like a ration or a vitamin bar. Kinda an acquired taste, but it still was pretty good. After leaving the store, another friend who I had planned to meet up with in Akabane was on their way, so we needed to head back to the station area. Until she arrived, Yoko and Steven wanted to show us the famous bar street of Akabane. Now, in the daytime, there's not much traffic going on, but at night, there is super jam-packed with patrons looking to have a great time. Once we finished our stroll around the alleyways, we picked up our friend Savoring from the station. Next, we headed over to a very popular store in Japan. This place is much like the Dollar Tree or Family Dollar in the States. They have about 6 floors of products, electronics, kitchenware, cleaning products, medicine, clothing, you name it, they have it. So we decided to take a lunch break and grab some food at Tetsu, also in Akabane, a little to the east of the train station though. While we were there, I did place my order for a pork ramen noodle dish, and man, that flavor was really good. Next, we walked over to another famous department store called Don Quixote, where we could buy all kinds of goodies. We strolled these aisles for about half an hour. I even picked up a few t-shirts, and then I called it a day. Lastly, we decided to wind down and have some ice cream at Denny's. Now, many restaurants around the world will have the same name and many of the same products, but they will also add their own flavor of dishes, which I think adds spice to the company in that country. So we ordered some small drinks and matcha flavored ice cream. We called up another friend who lived outside of the country and talked about old times for a while. So right about now, it's about maybe 5:30 in the evening, and everyone was pretty much wasted after, walking the streets for so long. Since it's November, the sun seems like it wants to set so early, but who cares? My room had a special view of the famous Mount Fuji. Well, this is day 2 in Japan, and I hope you all have enjoyed it. There's another jam-packed day waiting for us tomorrow. We will join back up with our friend Saori to tour the famous Yasukuni Jinja Shrine. Afterwards, we'll break off to visit the Tokyo Imperial Palace, Tokyo Station, and in the evening, we'll give you guys a little sneak peek of the world-famous Tokyo Tower. How about that? Alright, see you then. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like these videos I'm posting. Share it with others who are looking to come to Japan. It's okay, I'm not gonna bite. I'm also open to questions about the places that we visited too.